Leave a like on this video if you love Ed Sheeran.
But there's one thing on my mind, it's all for you.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Top 5 Best and today we're going over reason why people hate Ed Sheeran. Now, I love Ed Sheeran's music, but today we're going over why some people don't love Ed Sheeran. If you don't know Ed Sheeran, he is an artist out of London and he makes some awesome music. Man, have you heard of Thinking Out Loud? Man, you gotta get his new album and his old albums, everything. But anyways, we're going over why people hate Ed Sheeran and let's get into it. First off, I've seen on forum posts, I've seen it in his comments, it's just ridiculous. They say, oh, kill yourself, you're a ginger Ed Sheeran, stuff like that. It's just like, who cares if he has like red hair? It doesn't change your life, it doesn't affect your life in a negative way. But some people just can't handle the fact that he's successful and has red hair, I guess. I don't know, but it's kind of really odd how people would hate on him for having red hair. Anyways, let's move on to the next point. His music is overplayed on the radio. Now, I can second this. I always listen to his music on the radio, but that's why an aux cord is invented. If you don't know what an aux cord is, it pretty much means that you can like plug in your own phone to listen to your music. If you don't like Ed Sheeran's music, why are you listening to it? You know, you could always change the dial on the radio and listen to a different radio station. In the same sense, if you don't like, let's say, PewDiePie on YouTube, you can change the channel just like a TV. You don't have to watch something and you don't have to listen to something that you don't enjoy. And I don't know how you can hate on Ed Sheeran's music. Even if it's overplayed on the radio, it's so freaking good. Anyways, let's move on to the next point. I've seen in his comments that he is overrated. People think that he's overrated, which is kind of ridiculous to say. Like, Ed Sheeran overrated? What the heck? I don't even think that there's much hype around him, to be honest. But people think that he's overrated for some reason, even though he is just so talented. He plays guitar and everything. And that moves us on to our next point, which is just odd. I've read in like a YouTube comment, Ed Sheeran doesn't give to charity. Like, what the heck? It's his choice if he wants to give to charity or not. And frankly, he probably does give to charity. Why are you judging a man that you don't know? Do you give to charity? Come on now. I don't know why people would hate on him for something like that. It's really, really outlandish, really ridiculous, but it's okay. If you want to hate on a man for not giving to charity, you better be giving to charity yourself. Well, let's move on to our next point. He is too mainstream now. People are saying like, oh, he's too mainstream now. His music's not the same as it was before when he was underground, when he was indie, but now he's just on the radio all the time. I miss the old Ed Sheeran where he would interact with fans and everything. And that moves us to our next point. He doesn't love his fans. Fans think that he... Like, what? Fans think that he doesn't love his fans. I don't know how that even makes sense, but fans really think on his Twitter and whatnot, they've been hating on him, saying like, oh, you don't love your fans anymore, you've changed, Ed Sheeran, you used to love us so much, which just doesn't make any sense. Ed Sheeran, I'm pretty sure, loves his fans. He goes on tours and everything for them. But let's move on to our next point. That people think that his music changed too much from Thinking Out Loud. Now, with his new music, people are just thinking that he's changing too much. With his new album, Divide and Shape of You, people are just like, Ed, why? Why are you changing so much? I miss the old you. I miss the old Thinking Out Loud and all your old music. And it's just like, what the heck, man? You gotta adapt to change. If you support someone, if you support an artist, you gotta support them, whether they're making a crappy song or a good song, because, you know, you just gotta support your favorite artists. Anyways, let's move on to our next point. All of his music and his songs are about girls in love. Now, I can kind of agree, but not really. Not all of his songs are about girls in love. Some of his songs are like, oh, I miss you, I can smell like your perfume on my pillow, stuff like that, especially his newer songs. But like, who cares? That's something that's part of his life, and that's something that affects him. Girls in love. I really personally love listening to it and just hearing his perspective on life. Ed Sheeran makes awesome music. Let's move on to our next point, which is people think he doesn't write his own songs. And whether he has a ghostwriter or someone else writing his songs for him or not, that is beyond me. All I know is that he makes entertaining music, and his music is awesome to listen to. And that's all I can really ask for. I can't discriminate if he makes his own songs or not, and if he doesn't, it's okay because it still sounds good to the ear. And if you don't like his music, I guess you better turn off your radio and listen to whatever you like to listen to. Next, we have he only tours to major cities. And I don't know how this even affects people, because if you are a big fan of someone, you will go to their tour, whether it's a major city or not. And I'm sure that you have a major city, whether 2 hours or an hour away from you, maybe a couple hours more than that. But I'm sure that you can make the time to go out and see your favorite artist, whether they live like 18 hours away or 2 hours away. If you're a big fan of someone, I mean, you gotta make time for them. And finally, he doesn't interact with his fans on social media, and he only promotes his tours and albums on his social media. Well, this is kind of crazy. Most artists don't interact with their fans as much as they could on social media. I mean, it's not like he's gonna be a Justin Bieber and follow 500,000 people on his Twitter, for example, but who cares if he does or doesn't. But anyways, I love Ed Sheeran. I hope that you do too. If you did enjoy this video on why people hate Ed Sheeran, make sure to leave a like on this video and also subscribe if you're new. But anyways, my name is Top 5 Best, and I'll see you at the top.